I have three brothers, a sister, and sister-in-laws, and they can't be
You
here.
have a lot of people in your corner, you know.
Yes, I do. That's what's helped me get through all this.
Good. Yeah, it does help quite a bit. So I'm Heidi Schultz. For those I have not met, I don't think I met all of you in there.
Nope.
So yeah, I met you.
I
I
miss
certainly met you.
Yeah, you did. He didn't know he was meeting.
I miss son Tim,
Nice to meet you.
and this is my wife,
Nice.
daughter-in-law Christy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
We were up
tell me
there
how
with
you're
him.
doing.
For the surgery, we were in there
Oh,
with
you were
him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You have to tell her how you're doing, honey.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
I need to know more than that.
I'm moving.
Okay.
As long as she's with me, I'm doing better.
Uh huh.
If she's not with me, then I get a little ill.
Yeah. Sounds like love. How is your moving? How are you moving?
Show her.
Yeah. Let's see.
Get up, sweetheart.
Because you had, let me get this guy. You had some weakness when you first
Watch
came
your wheel.
in. Now watch out, you've got a wheel there, so.
Put your wheel underneath it.
Okay.
This leg seems a little weak.
Okay.
But it was before.
This
very
one is strong.
Okay. And you felt like this left leg was kind of dragging. I think that's the way you described it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How does that feel now?
It feels better. I can
Okay.
move good.
Okay.
It seems like it's getting better daily. But
Okay. Well, and you got rid of everything that was pushing on your brain that was causing some odd things on this side. So, what about the arm? Do you have anything going on in the arm?
just this hand seems like it gets stiff or it's not as strong.
And I remember one of the therapists that saw you while you were in the hospital found that that hand seemed to work really well until you tried to do a couple of oddball things, if I'm remembering correctly, and that's when it kind of showed up, right?
Or the feeling that you're picking up marbles or something like
Yeah.
that.
Do you feel touch?
I feel that,
Okay.
but sometimes, like this morning now, I would think I had something in my hand pushing. It's not there. It's on the floor.
Oh, okay. So you
So
still are,
I-
but you're not. So give me a squeeze. So you're not so much weak. It's more just sort of your awareness of of what you're feeling and doing. It sounds
Mhm.
like. Okay.
I think.
Okay. You can sit down if you want. I'm not trying to work you hard here. Now, I know we changed the referral a couple times. Did you land with somebody? Who are you going to for your follow-up, your oncology follow-up? Do you have that set up yet?
Oh, well, that's for where we have our chemo and everything?
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
We have
That's
that.
at Bay Area Hospital.
Okay, good. All right, because we originally referred you locally, and then we moved it, and then we moved it again. So I wanted to make sure that it came to. So have you had the appointment yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay.
No. Well, we've had the appointment already
The first
with the oncologist, and I was on the chemo side. That was
Mhm.
Dr. Sherry.
Yeah, Dr. Sherry.
Yep. And so that's all set up. We've gotten the medication.
Okay.
Of course, we haven't started taking it yet. And then was it last Thursday, we met with the radiologist,
Right.
with
Okay.
Dr. Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Henderson got everything. Tomorrow morning we go in and they're having the mask made for the radiation.
Okay.
And then Dr. Henderson said that he'd be programming everything into the
Uh-huh.
system. And it was last week we seen him. He thought it'd be about a week and a half before they started
Okay.
the procedure.
Okay.
And
That
they'll
sounds
do
pretty-
6 weeks,
That sounds like pretty typical time.
5 days a
Okay.
week. He said that you'd know more about the radiation. It's 60 gray or 60.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
This all sounds.
It's a
pretty
very
typical,
low dosage
Yeah.
of radiation.
Okay.
5 days a week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all happening soon.
And you start the medication. When do you start the medication?
I think they're gonna start at the same time, but we'll probably find out tomorrow when we go in.
Okay. So, Dr. Henderson is the radiation doctor, and
That's
then what
right.
was the name of the other one?
Dr. Sherry with an S.
Sherry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it's,
I thought
is
it
it
was
Y?
Sherry. Is it Sherry?
Oh,
Something. I'm not sure if that doesn't.
I think it is.
Cherry.
I'll find it.
Sherry.
I'm sure if I look them up, I can probably narrow it down.
Yeah.
We just
Right.
we don't know the oncologists down there as well, so I try to make sure I know who they are.
No, I did, they've signed everything to have it done down there, and it is convenient having it down there, but, I understand that we can only do the radiation the one time, and I just wanna make sure that Dad is in the best place to get the best treatment that,
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
reasonable question.
yeah.
I mean, I guess the couple things I would say to that, one is that there's a lot that's standard as far as the treatment, where there are a lot of protocols, and I mean, I don't work in oncology, but so I can't tell you the specifics about it because I don't know it, but so typically you'll get pretty similar treatment from place to place, and there is tremendous value in being able to stay in your own community.
There is.
And then the other piece of that is that I really think that anytime somebody feels like they want a second opinion, that's a reasonable thing to do for somebody. Sometimes it's really just helpful in that it kind of validates the plan you came up with and makes you think, okay, we're really on the right track here. A lot of people don't get a second opinion. You don't necessarily need one if you feel good about the plan you have. So I don't think that we really have any specific reason to say, oh, you're going to get much better care if you go thus and such, or there are these major cancer centers, and a lot of times that doesn't change the plan either.
Well, and according to Dr. Sherry, you cannot, it's the same treatment no matter where you go. There's
Exactly.
not another different treatment.
Right.
It's the same treatment.
Exactly.
And they're just getting new equipment down there, or they have just
Yeah.
gotten new
Yeah.
equipment, so it's the latest.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And we've had a couple of other patients who have recently had treatment there and had a really positive experience, and it ended up being really, really good for them and their families to be in their own community.
Right, it is.
And so exactly, it is the treatment,
And do you guys work so they communicate with you guys so you know what's happening?
So usually what happens, they usually send notes, and I doubt, let me look, because we don't use the same computer system, and so I doubt we have their notes yet. Well, what is that? That's not it. Yeah. So usually we send notes back and forth, like I will send them a copy of my note from today, and then what ends up happening is that you're going to be a pretty busy guy with your treatment there, and we sort of hang out on the edge because we want to follow you. Dr. Roundy wants to see another MRI about 3 months after surgery. We don't really accomplish much by doing one sooner unless we have a reason to. So if you started to feel worse, if you started to have other neurological changes that were different, or if you started to feel like your left side was getting worse again, those are all things that we'd want to hear about and think about imaging you sooner. So we follow you in that we keep the notes for what they send us. We want to hear from you if there are any problems. We also try not to make you drive all the way here just to say, hey, I feel good.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
long haul.
It
just
is,
and so mostly we're trying to follow kind of the surgical end of this. Make sure that there's no further need for surgery. Make sure you heal okay, and then also be part of looking at if you have any other changes that we need to wonder about. It's really helpful. I mean, in some ways, it's having the oncology treatment is great because they're keeping a close eye on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they can contact Dr. Roundy if there are any concerns or anything they need to collaborate on. So we kind of play it by ear and see how you do.
Everybody comes together. Now, what about his physical and occupational therapy along with this others?
Right.
At the same.
Now, did you get started down there?
Mhm.
Okay, you did. So part of it is kind of seeing how you feel once you start therapy. Some people feel really tuckered out. Some people feel pretty good. We don't want you to get overworked, but it is going to be helpful for you to continue to participate in the therapy so you can get as good a function as you can. They also are sometimes really helpful for detecting changes. Especially like with your hand, right? Because that was kind of subtle. And so sometimes they can be the first ones that say, wait a minute, is this
No.
going off the rails here? Is this, so, yeah. Does that
So
answer your
maybe,
question?
so maybe, like we're having chemo, maybe have 2 days a week that he has physical therapy, not every day.
Have you been doing it every day?
No.
No.
I was gonna say
no.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
No, about twice a week.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, and then what you can do is revisit the plan, right? So you can, once you get started with your treatment, you do your couple days of therapies, you can revisit, you know, I feel good, this is working, or I'm exhausted, I need to
Right.
not do this as
Okay,
much.
okay.
They can also, especially if you ask them specifically, they can give you some things that you can do at home. You know, so you can have kind of a scaled back routine, but you're still doing something.
Right.
There are lots of ways, I think, adjusting it up and
Okay.
down.
And Dad's a
based
real
on-
worker and always has been. So him sitting at the house when he could go do physical therapy,
Yeah.
he's probably going to want to do it
You wanna
because
get out of
he
there.
wants to get better. Is what he's
Yeah.
wanting to do.
Get
So.
out and walk in the yard.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to just sit, because if I do, I fall asleep. I think that's the worst.
I do the same.
Right, and then it becomes a vicious cycle, and then you just sleep more and more, right?
Right. He walks all over the house by himself.
Okay,
He
great.
uses his walker most of the time, but when he goes into a room, he just walks on.
Okay. Were you using a walker before this?
Wheelchair.
Before this happened to you?
Yes.
You were using a walker?
No,
No, not
well,
before he got
no,
sick.
it depends on what, because we've gone through Guillain-Barré syndrome,
Oh, right.
and we've
okay.
so we've had seizures. So if we talk about, you know, right before Memorial Day when all of a sudden we noticed his left side,
Yeah.
then when we started coming up here, we were wheelchairing it because
That's right.
he couldn't, his left foot wasn't working,
He's
and
dragging.
so we were so. But when we went into Dr. Henderson and Dr. Sherry, they both looked at, now you came in a wheelchair. Is there something we need to be concerned about? And the answer was no. That if you know, we're just kind of a convenience thing having him in a wheelchair. After,
Where were you?
because it was amazing. I mean, Dad really wanted to say thanks to Dr. Roundy because this has been amazing for him. He has gone from not recognizing his left arm and dragging his left leg to we're only 2 weeks and 2 days out of surgery, and Dad is doing amazing. He gets into my truck and he pulls himself up and puts him in this chair and fastens his own seat belt, and he's just doing tremendously. So
Wonderful.
it's
I don't
just
wanna
been
be
amazing.
Yeah.
It really has. It's been amazing,
Oh, that's
and
good.
so
Well, I'll see if I can grab him to come in and say
he would
hello
love
to
to
you,
say
so.
thank you, and
Yeah.
and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been an amazing process that he's gone through, and so your answer, you know, the walker he uses when he wants to. He went to church the first time this
Okay.
Sunday. A lot of really great things have happened since he's had the
Okay.
surgery, and it was a big deal for us to decide to do the surgery.
I know.
I mean, on the
but
way
yes.
home from here after our visit with Dr. Roundy the first time, it was really, you know, moments where you really
Right.
don't want to experience as a family. But
Yeah.
you know, Dad went through it and Mom went through it. And